We continue with our revisions. Question number 2 is a compulsory question. We are asked as follows. Officers are once in a while required to write reports to their superiors. It has been noticed that there is a reduction on the number of learners who enroll for account courses. As head of finance department of your college, you have been asked to investigate the matter to establish the cause. Number 1, briefly explain any 2 examples of reports an officer may be required to produce at the place of work. 4 marks. Part B, write a report and give 3 recommendations on how the situation can be improved upon following your investigations in the field. So we must understand that reports vary at the place of work. There are several types of reports. So before I look at any 2, let me just enlist the types of reports at the place of work that one should understand. So there are many types of reports. Number 1, they're what we call financial reports. Financial reports are simply a summary of the performance of a business. It includes income statements, balance sheets, cash flow statements. Other reports that you can find are annual reports, which provide a comprehensive statement of how the organization has been performing. Reports also could be sales reports, which salesmen have to give in detail on how the revenues have been at a particular period of time. For instance, where you're working, you want to give a report of the sales in the particular day. We also have what we call marketing reports. These are reports that are produced by the marketing department. For instance, where you're launching a campaign, you want to analyze how your marketing has been with regards to the return on the investments. We also have reports to do with human resources, which cover recruitment, training of employees. We also have quality reports, which give a detail of how quality control has been done. We also have incident reports, where you are asked to produce and analyze an incident or an accident at a workplace. So you need to prepare a report. Reports also could stream into what we call customer service reports, where you could evaluate customer satisfaction. Also, we have reports on inventory, where you are going to give an account of stock levels. You started with this stock and ended with this stock. All these reports are very important for decision making. So now we've been asked in this question to say we have observed a trend. It has been noticed that there has been a reduction in the number of learners who enroll for accounts. You, who's head of finance at your college, you have been asked to investigate the matter to establish the cause. Briefly explain any 2 examples of reports that an officer may be required to produce at a place of work. So can you mention any 2? Oh, and I could also add on from the list that I've given you, maybe 2 additional reports that you can want to know. We also have what we call a report which is called Terms of Reference report. So these ones are reports that give you a report or a record on how the performance has been, or the terms of reference, for instance, at a particular place of work. So now let's get to a list of the reports that I've talked about. Can you mention any types of reports that I've mentioned? Any types of reports? From the 10 that I've talked about, any types of reports? Are you there? You can unmute.
Okay. I'm saying we have the annual report. We also have an incident report.
Okay. All right, we have an annual report, incident report, correct? All right, so those are types of reports. So now in this particular case, we're looking at a report on the dwindling number of learners who enroll for accounts. So we've been asked to look at any briefly explain any two examples of reports that an officer may be required to produce at a place of work. We're looking at a college now here. So I'm going to give two opinions from the Zika and from that. So two examples of reports an officer may be required to produce. Number one is a financial report. So officers, especially in the finance department, may be required to produce what we call financial reports. Now, these reports will provide an overview of the financial health of an organization. For instance, the income that is coming from the students, the expenditure that we are spending on the students, the profits and losses. So these financial reports are very important for decision making, for budgeting and overall performance of the college. The other report would be the market report, which involves having the business to produce reports to analyze the market trend, the behavior of students, and approachability of our marketing staff or people to joining our institution. So these are reports that we can talk about. So in terms of enrollment, second part, we've been asked to say, write a report and give recommendations on how the situation could be improved following investigations. So a report on the reduction of enrollment for accounts courses. So you can start with maybe a summary. This report aims to investigate and identify the causes for the observed reduction in number of learners enrolling for accounts at a particular college. You can name it Mulenga College or Class Tuition Center. The findings of the investigation will be very important to understanding the root causes of proposing recommendations to addressing the situation. So your report could also have the following primary objectives. Number one, want to look at the factors that are contributing to the decline in enrollment for accounts at Class Tuition Center. So the methodology you want to take, number one, you want to review the historical enrollment data. How has been the enrollment in the past months? Number two, you'd want to conduct interviews with the current students and prospective students. You want to find out how are you finding the courses? Are our tutors teaching well? And those that would want to join, you carry out a survey on what they feel about accounts. Then analyze the feedback from the staff or faculty. Then also you examine the marketing and promotional strategies. I repeat, we have a problem in people undertaking what? Financial courses. So you want to carry out a report. And this report is on the reduction in the enrollment for the accounts courses. So you start with an executive summary that the report that you want to do intends to identify the causes that have caused the reduction in the learners enrolling for accounts. You also give what these findings will do. So these findings will be very important for decision making in understanding what is the real root cause for people not enrolling for accounts, and therefore you come up with recommendations. Every report must have an objective. What is the primary objective? To identify the factors that are causing a decline in the enrollment. What methodology are you going to use? Number one, I'm going to review historical data. Historical data will give you the performance in terms of how we've moved and where we've come from. Secondly, you're going to conduct interviews by asking the actual students that you have and those that would want to become students. Number three, you need to analyze that data from the faculty, who are the students, and from the members of staff, the staff or the lecturers. Then you examine what strategies you've been using. Then finally, you need to analyze the findings. Number one, perceived difficulty in courses. Maybe many students have been cited to finding accounts as a challenging course. Number two, you can find findings, lack of an awareness. People don't really know what accounts can do for their lives. You give the findings. Number three, competitive advantage. You see maybe the other institutions that are offering a better approach in teaching. Then you give your recommendations. What recommendations would you want to have? You would restructure the courses. You want to restructure accounts, you add a bit of some marketing there, so that you give a broader range from which students can get what? Their jobs. What other recommendations can you have? You have a marketing campaign. So since we haven't been doing a lot of marketing, I'll develop a marketing plan where we're going to now include the Somalian community to come and learn basic accounts. The grade 12 school leavers, we use channels of advertising like Sun FM. So basically, this question is encouraging you to think outside the box. There's no clear-cut answer that one person can produce. You need to have innovation. You need to think outside the box to presenting your data. So this is carrying about how many marks? I think 14 marks. 16 marks, a report. Are we together? A little bit complex. So you could as well want to look at it from another perspective. You're looking at an institute like Litima, the report on the dwindling number of learners in accounts. Number one, terms of reference. You have been tasked to investigate what? The enrollment of learners in accounts, and investigation was carried in this matter, and the report was written. The recommendations were as follows. Number one, procedures. Following procedures have been used to collect the data in the field. Number one, interviews on the selected target group. Number two, questionnaires on the selected sections of the community. Number three, you need to now look at the findings. What findings did you find from the interviews? We found that people in accounts lack job opportunities. That's why people do not want to take accounts. Number two, the findings are that the pass rate in accounts is discouraging for leaders to take on accounts. So people have been failing accounts, Zika courses, and as such, people don't want to do accounts. Then number three, you can say the cost of training has gone up, and as such, people do not want to enroll for accounting courses. Then you go to the questionnaire. Questionnaire was now administered to the school leavers. And according to the questionnaire, it was found that there was lack of awareness on the training courses. Maybe there hasn't been good marketing that has been done. Lack of sponsorship has affected the enrollment. So these are the findings. And you make a conclusion to say, it has been concluded that number one, the labor market competition account is high. Number two, the cost is too unaffordable for people in the field of accounts. Number three, there's unavailable information on the importance of accounting in the community. So people have not endeavored to do accounts. Then you give recommendations. So the institution must, however, hold career talks in the community, going to various schools before they graduate, encouraging them and inculcating the mindset of having what? Accountants. Then you need to train and employ qualified staff who improve the pass rates, and also encourage the locals to sponsor students for accounting programs, and also provide scholarships for school leavers who would want to do accounting courses. Then you write your name at the end, Mulenga, head of department, and the date. Now, I implore you that your paper is a composition of Excel, Word, and purely business skills. So you also need to be very careful on the questions you're going to choose. Some questions are easy, some questions are tough. Questions like this one here, if you're going to follow me every year, you'll be asked to do a report. So a report will be brought in a different way. They may ask you to prepare a report maybe for a disaster, an epidemic, malaria. The procedure is simply the same for a report. This is 16 marks, by the way. So you need to fragment your report into 3 key parts. Number one, an executive summary or introduction. Number two, the objective. Why are you conducting that report? Number three, the methodology. How are you going to collect the data? Number four, the findings. What are the possible findings that you're going to have? Number 5, conclusions and recommendations. What possible conclusions and recommendations will you have? So what did we look at here? What was the problem? The problem was there was a low enrollment in accounts. What was our introduction? To investigate what causes low enrollment of learners. In the introduction, also, it is critical to invite the readers to say, in this report, we're going to, number 1, look at the root cause of the low enrollment levels. Number 2, we're going to propose how this problem will be solved. Are we together so far? If I'm a little fast, you can still tell me, because I need you to really understand this concept. Reports are always there. They carry 16 marks. So in your report, start with your executive summary, what you're going to do in the report. Once you have identified that and indicated that you want to investigate the problems in the title at hand of the reduction in the number of learners in accounts, you now need to state the main objective. What is your main objective? Objective is to understand reasons why there is low enrollment in accounts. That is your objective. Then how are you going to collect that information? You need to streamline the methodology. I'm going to conduct interviews on what? First, I'm going to review the historical data on the enrollment. How has enrollment gone? How do I find out that enrollment has gone down? Because the records show that you are last year, maybe we're at 25, now we're at 4 or 5. Secondly, what are you going to do? You're going to conduct interviews, the current students. Why are you few? Then the other, you get information from the people who you would want to become students. Ask them, why are you not enrolling for accounts? No, I want to become a dental, I want to become this and that. But why don't you want to become an accountant? They'll give you an overview. Thirdly, the methodology is to review from the staff members. Why do you think members don't want to join or study accounts? Then you also need to examine what are you using in marketing. Once this is done, you now give your possible findings. Number 1, why do you think people have a perceived difficulty in the courses? They think accounts is difficult. Number 2, people are not aware of accounts that you're offering because they're not marketing. Number 3, there's competition. Other schools are offering better. Then what recommendations do you have? You restructure the course. You restructure your marketing campaign. And lastly, you bring in promotions that are flexible payment schedules, online sessions, etc. I hope that is clear. So this is how question number 2 was supposed to be tackled. So I'll take you to question number 3, unless any questions. So I've simplified these notes for you to read at your own time. We go to email. What is an email? What are the advantages and disadvantages of an email? All right. So this is now some IT. So we can go there. It is an email. What are the advantages and disadvantages of email? Do you remember what an email is? Or you know what it is, but may not define it. So let me quickly define it for you. So an email is a short electronic mail. It is simply a digital communication method that will allow exchange of messages, exchange of files, and other relevant data between an individual or groups over time. Okay, so we've not been asked to define what an email is, just for your understanding. Let me give you the following notes. What is an email? An email is simply a short electronic mail. This electronic mail is used for communication purposes between two people, between groups. It is used to exchange messages, files, and other data. It is used for a written form of both personal and impersonal communication. We'll get to the types later on. Okay. So this is a definition of an email. Now, what are some of the advantages of using an email? What are some of the disadvantages of using an email? So, email has the following advantages. Number one, speed and efficiency. So, an email enables an instant communication which allows individuals to send and receive promptly. So, it is quick and efficient. What is the other advantage? It's cost effective. Emails are almost free. So sending emails is more economical than the one you go to the post office and send. All right. Emails have a global reach. So emails will transcend geographical boundaries. You can send an email to America instantly. Emails are good for record keeping. You can save information via emails. What are the other advantages of emails? We've lost a lot of data before. So emails are a very convenient way of what? Saving data. So email also has the following advantages. So emails allow for attachment of various multimedia files. Multimedia means besides document, you can put in a video, image, and other versatile platforms. So emails, they support multimedia attachments. Emails are also very convenient. You and me can use and access emails at the places of convenience in our phones, our laptops. They're convenient. Emails also allow us to communicate at different times, making it convenient for people from different time zones. I can write an email to Joe, even if it's morning there, at any time. So emails are convenient, time convenient. What are the disadvantages of email? Security. Emails may also be susceptible to security threats like hacking. Sometimes you may receive an email from somebody purporting to know you very well. So people have been scammed through emails. Okay. Overload and spam. Users of emails usually receive volumes of emails, including unwanted spam. So for me currently, my email is very full. Sometimes I have to buy storage because of these alerts that come in, you know. So emails are susceptible that you can get unwanted information. Are we following out together?
Yes.
Okay, what else can we say about email? Miscommunication. So lack of non-verbal cues that are in emails can lead to misinterpretation of messages. The tone may not be clear, potentially causing misunderstanding. So there's potential miscommunication in an email. Dependence and interruptions. So constant email notifications may create dependency on checking messages, leading to interruptions in work and decreased productivity. So these poppings that come in may disrupt you. Storage and server issues. So large volumes of emails may consume your storage space, like I mentioned. Legal and compliance consent. So emails may also be subject to legal and regulatory requirements. So failure to comply with these may lead to violation of legal. So certain emails that may contain information that may be screened for terrorism, so they may implicate you. So emails also lack a personal touch of face-to-face. Face-to-face usually best for certain kind of information. So let's go back to our questions. Mention any 5 advantages of an email 5 max. Can you remind me number 1? Any 5 advantages of emails?
It has speed and efficiency.
Good, the speed and efficiency. Uh-huh.
It's also cost effective.
Good. And the economy is cost effective. Yes. What else?
Um, global reach. You're able to communicate anywhere in the world.
Good. Global reach, okay. Yes. What else? Aspect of
You can also attach any other multimedia documents
excellent.
and the videos or videos. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Explain issues of security.
It's security concerns.
It can come as a disadvantage and an advantage at the same time. Okay, disadvantage is prone to what? Hacking. All right. Advantage can be a formal way of conveying some serious information. Okay, so let's go to the next question. We have been asked in this question to say an operating system provides a link between the application software and the hardware. Operating system provides a link between application and the hardware. State any 5 tasks it performs. State any 5 tasks it performs. Okay. So firstly, we need to identify what an operating system is. And we later on look at the tasks generally. So an operating system, by definition, defined there. What does an operating do? It's an intermediary between 2 things: the hardware, the component that we're able to touch, and the software, the component that we are unable to touch. So how do we define an operating system? Operating system is a system that acts as an intermediary between the hardware and the software. It provides a platform for the execution of programs. It manages the hardware resources and facilitates communication between what? The computer's hardware and the software components. Now, operating system has a lot of advantages and tasks that it performs. So we've only been asked to look at 5 tasks which carry 5 marks. So I'll enlist them, then we'll do a quick can you remember. So number 1. Number 1, memory management. So operating system is used to manage the computer's memory to ensure that each program has sufficient space of execution and preventing conflicts with different processes. So you will notice when you're using a phone or a computer, sometimes it jams because the space that is allocated to a particular task is not sufficient. So the primary job of the operating system is to allocate enough memory space for each program to run. Number 2, processor management. So the operating system also schedules and manages execution of processes and tasks in order to optimize the CPU. So it schedules which task must be done before the other and which job must be done within a particular time using the CPU. So the operating system also organizes and controls access to files. It gives certain permissions to access certain files and also provides what we call a hierarchical structure of data storage. So let me simplify these in a way you could understand. Okay. So let me simplify the task of operating system in a very simple way. Number one, operating system has the following tasks for opening and closing files. Number two, operating system has a job of maintaining directories in the storage disks. It has compartments in the storage disk that gives access to you, the user. Number three, operating system is used for calling up program files and data files into memory. So sometimes you may shut your computer, the operating system will give memory. So okay, this program was not saved to give you access. Of course, we have two types of memories, random access and the ROM. The other job of the operating system is that it helps check that the hardware is functioning properly. Helps check that the hardware is operating properly. The other job of the operating system is the initial setup of the computer. As the computer is starting up, the operating system takes preeminence. The operating system is also used to control the input and output devices. We have several input and output devices that you need to know. Maybe before I proceed, mention any 4 input devices and any 4 output devices on a computer.
Input, keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
a screen.
Mm.
A mouse qualifies as one as well.
Okay. Yeah. So input devices. You mentioned how many?
3.
3. Okay, can I help you with others? There are many. You can pick any from
Yes.
the list. So input devices, we have the following. We have the keyboard that allows you to enter what we call alphanumeric characters, which are numbers, commands, and so we have a mouse, which is used to allow interaction between the graphic user interface and the pointer. We also have a touch screen, which is both input and output. So when you're entering data or you're writing a message on the touch screen, you're entering data. We have a scanner, which converts what? The images, the documents into something that is digital. A microphone as well, when you're talking through and inputting your vocal cords, which are recognized. Also have a webcam, which you're currently using, right? Webcam is used to get your visual data, your face in there. Other input devices that we may have could be a graphics tablet, which is a flat surface input device where you use a stylus, a pen, which is called a computer pen for drawing, or when you go to the bank, you're signing your signature. That's called a graphics. We also have a barcode reader. When you go to ShopRite, they'll punch in what? An input device. A joystick, those that play games, they have a joystick, which is used for allowing movement and actions. Also have 4 biometric devices. Biometric devices include what? Facial recognition scanners when you're going to ShopRite and you come out with something that isn't supposed to be used, those biometric devices, those are input devices. Output devices you mentioned, what are they? Any 3?
A screen is as well an output device, both an output and an input.
Yes, correct. A touch screen, correct. Yeah. What else?
A flash.
A flash.
Example.
It's a storage. A flash is a storage.
Storage.
Yeah, so we have
Okay.
a monitor, which is a screen, a printer, which produces hard copy, speakers,
Printer.
which produce audios, yeah, headphones that you're using, they give output. The projector, which gives what? Visuals in a larger screen. A pointer, come in. Yes. We also have all right, so other output devices, we have a plotter, which is used by architects to give graphs, and we also have what we call a 3D printer, etc. Those are output devices. Okay, so from what I've given you, I just need you to give me at least 4 of each: input and output devices. Okay, quickly, any 4 input and 4 output.
Input, keyboard, mouse, scanner, microphone, a webcam, graphical tablets, the barcode reader. Those are for inputs. And then outputs, we have printer, speaker, headphones, projectors, plotters. Yeah, and the printer as well. Speaker, I mentioned all. So speaker, printer, headphones, projectors, and plotters.
Okay, correct. That's correct. Now we go to back to operating system. What are the functions of an operating system?
Open and closing of file. As checking that the hardware is functioning properly. Calling up of programs into memory.
Okay.
Program files into memory, and also have initial setup of a computer.
Excellent. So I got a good memory. You got a memory of a computer. Okay. So you need to remember those ones, yeah. So at this point, please, you need to pick any short points that can help you remember. So there's processing, allocating, and the allocating memory space, file management, okay, input and output devices. Okay, so device management. All right, so those are some of the functions of the operating system. So you break for the next 10 minutes again. So end here for now, unless there are any questions. So we're done with
If I can take you back to the questions, the reports, is that okay? I
sure.
wanted to ask earlier.
Yeah.
You explained the different types of reports, such as annual reports, the sales reports, marketing reports, and such and so on. But I wanted to ask, now these are types of reports.
Yes.
I've come across such as routine reports and such. Where do you place that? Is that an example as well?
Yes, it's also part, except that you need to tailor the reports based on the question. So those are part of the reports that it's a category.